mine, skip yours. So let's do Dicky versus Gabe. That's a good one to start
Cool.
with. So yeah, Gabe, unfortunately, he had to play Frank Gore this week because
Mm-hmm.
James Conner was out, right? So that shows James Conner's last two games, he had gone for over 100 yards rushing
Yeah,
and a touchdown in each game,
that's unlucky.
17 and 20 points there, right? That still wouldn't have been enough, as he went down to Dickey 109 to 66. Um, Anything of note here? So Melvin Gordon, he had his two touchdown game, right, with Philip
Yeah.
Lindsay still out over there, good for 23 points. Adam Thielen, he's showing that he's their number one still, as long as Kirk Cousins can get him the ball. 8 for 114 and a touchdown, for good for 17 points there. Gabe's team just
Yeah.
didn't didn't do too well there. Matt Ryan, I know, was a disappointment for him. Only 29 points. I
Yeah.
know
That was a big one.
in another league I'm in, Matt Ryan was dropped mid game. Just I don't want this guy anymore. Yeah, Gabe continued the train of people playing negative point defense special
Yeah.
teams units. So the
It's been a
Cardinals,
rough one.
kind of surprisingly, against Teddy Two Gloves and the Panthers here, got him negative 3 points.
Yeah.
So just overall, um, I did lie earlier about Big Ben is not Gabe's backup, but Ryan Tannehill is. So
Oh yeah. He kind of looks like Big
affected,
Ben in that picture. My bad.
yeah, affected by the I guess by the Titans directly there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just not a great showing by him. Tyler Lockett, who had balled out last week with 28
Yeah.
points, only got Gabe 2 for 39, 3 points here. Yeah,
Pretty
not much
unlucky.
to smile about there.
Do you think the trend we're seeing in defenses has anything like are the games just higher scoring? Are people throwing more? Do you think it's part of that look kind of meta shift in the NFL, or do you think it's just been unlucky?
I feel like we're getting back a little bit to more of a balanced attack.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson right there, he tells you all. He
Yeah.
runs and he passes, right? What's more
Mm-hmm.
balanced than that? So yeah, who was Dickey's victorious quarterback to defeat Gabe with?
Yeah. It was 109 to
Yeah,
66 this week.
109-66. So Dickey maintains his lead. He is 3-1, leading his division now, and
Nice.
that dropped Gabe to third place in
Mm-hmm.
his division.
2-2.
Stacked division right there.
I'll take it.
Um, so then we'll move on to Juan versus Austin here. A little bit of El Clasico.
Hell
Um,
class.
yeah, Juan had a great showing by Todd Gurley. Well, not too great, but he did score two touchdowns. 57 yards there, good for 17 points. Odell, that was a great showing
Yeah.
there. Hated to see it, but yeah, he had three total touchdowns in that game there.
Hashtag
Good for
is Odell back. Like,
good for 33 points. He is. I really
yeah.
think he is, and that's a steal of a fourth round pick if he is.
I guess we'll see. Yeah.
You know.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
let's see what else here. Kyler Murray, a little bit of a disappointment
Yeah.
there. Only 36 points. They had some trouble against the
Yeah.
Panthers.
I mean, he missed the mark a little bit. We're expecting around like 40 points, right, from Kyler Murray week to week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he,
It's not
he
too
he
bad.
came back a little bit towards the end of the game. I know it wasn't looking good. I have him as my QB in another league, and yeah, it was not a good week for me.
Yeah.
Um, he was able to win without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Benched this week as a part of the Titans outbreak there. Devontae Freeman got him
Played.
a solid 6 points,
Yeah.
so he's leading the touches in the backfield. We'll see what he can do there. Stephon Diggs, 6 for 115. I mean, looking great again. He was number one.
Hmm.
Um, and then on Austin's team, a couple standouts there. Aaron Jones. I watched the game with Austin. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Every time they had a pretty nice split there. Running back by committee, Jamal
I mean,
Williams,
they like Jamal Williams, right? I mean, that's
Tyler Irvin, AJ Dillon. Yeah, I mean they had all of those kids touching the
yeah.
ball.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he did go 15 for 71, caught all of his targets for 40 yards and that first touchdown there, which
There
I
you go.
call it almost every game. I remember when we were at the Cowboys game um, against the Falcons. It's like, ooh, they're in the red zone, and I was like, check it, Austin, Aaron to Aaron right here. That's what's gonna happen. Make both of us happy. Yeah. So Dalton Schultz, I think we saw maybe the birth
Yeah,
of a
definitely.
standout there.
Hmm.
We were talking there. He went 9 for 88 and touchdown on 10 targets against the Falcons. And Austin
Yeah.
said, "I'm picking him up. I'm picking him up. Nobody get him." And I had George Kittle, so I'd let it slide there. But yeah, he went 4 for 72 and a touchdown on 8 targets there. So
Yeah.
Dak is liking him here. We kind of expected Blake
We
Jarwin to
we've
be a
been
standout
I
this
feel like
year.
in fantasy we've been waiting for that next Dallas tight end, right? To kind of bring come into the game,
Yeah, it's
Since
nice. I think
yeah.
Jason Witten died to unleash the next
Yeah.
the
I, I
next
I
guy
could
over
I could see
here.
it definitely. I mean, I don't even watch football, but I could definitely yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so the rest of Austin's team not looking too great. Daniel Carlson got him 13 points there, so that's great to see from your kicker. But unfortunately, Austin is no longer defeated as he drops to Juan
Mhm.
115 to 96, and that gives Juan his first win, still last place of his division, and Austin still first place in his division.
Yeah.
That division is loaded.
Who loaded it?
Um, all of y'all that decided to finish last season where you did, and that's
Khalid?
how.
Wait. What?
Yeah. Okay, get moving on to it. The next game here was Jose versus Mark. The the two rookies here looking. We had joked here this was going to be the Suck Bowl. They did both come in at least with a win that was semi unexpected. And that means that one of
Yeah.
them had to leave this game with 2 wins here. So Russell Wilson, he had a very off week for Jose here, only 46 points.
Only 46 points.
The rest of
The
Jose's team,
quarterback privilege.
I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
down, not gonna give any names.
Sure.
4, 3, 6, 4, 6, 9, 8.
Single digits, man.
And
Yeah.
that 9 and 8, those are his defense and his kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
His defense
Marco,
could have gone -10 though. So that's
we're not gonna talk about which defense got -10, but it was Mark's.
okay.
Um, yeah, not great to see there. Tyreek Hill, 12 points. I had
Yeah.
spoken to Mark before the game. He had designated CeeDee Lamb as his Tyreek Hill replacement.
Mhm. I see. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
and yeah, once the Cowboys got going, he said, "Hey, no. It was meant to be. Put him in."
I
And
mean,
one
CD
thing
Lamb, there's another one that
that I didn't get the chance to tell him was that I think CeeDee's he's an every
mhm.
week starter here.
I
Yeah,
agree.
especially with T.Y. Hilton, he's not who he used to be. You click on
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton here, and which wide receivers should fantasy managers drop? There's A.J. Green and T.Y. Hilton right there. Two of the studs of not just our league, but plenty of leagues
Yeah.
in the past here. A stat that I want to note here: he has
Uh-huh.
not eclipsed 87 yards without Andrew Luck as
Yeah.
his
I
quarterback.
was about to ask you talked about that the other day. I was about to
Yeah,
ask you about that. Mhm.
he's gotten
I
four
mean,
receptions, 3 receptions, 3 receptions, 3 receptions. It's.
yeah. Mhm.
There were a few games back in the day, sure, 3 receptions for 141 and 2 touchdowns or something, right? But it's
Yeah.
just not going that way for him
Yeah.
anymore. James Robinson continues to play great. There's a great pickup that Mark was able to get. He's taking the reins of the Jags backfield, and
I really wanted James Robinson. I think I
no
sent Matt a
problems
trade.
there.
I mean, Mark a trade at some point. I was like, "Give me
Yeah,
James
his
Robinson."
worst game was his first game against the Colts, only 8 points,
Mhm.
and that's the number one Colts defense right there too. So,
Right.
um, yeah, 8, 17, 24, and only 10 here. He didn't find the end zone this game, but he's he's looking great. That's a bright spot for Mark to be looking at.
Yeah, I mean,
You know who
75.
I forgot to mention
Mm-hmm.
in the injuries?
Who?
Michael Thomas. That
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah, I completely forgot that. That was Mark's first round
That's
draft pick.
yeah.
Um, so we'll see. We'll see if Mark's team that there's a replacement for T.Y. Hilton right there, right? So that's not even a problem. Once he's back, those are
Yeah.
those two plug and
Yeah,
play.
Mark does have some some receiver depth, sort of, right? Kind of rocky, but kind of it's there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So unfortunately for Mark, he did drop his third game here as Jose beat
Mm-hmm.
him by a gross score of 86-60.
Yeah, some low
Jose
scoring games this week. Yeah.
Jose's second place in his division. Mark last in my division.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we'll move on real quick to Matt and Nestor. Matt stays undefeated, 116 to 114 over Nestor. So Nestor has the head-to-head tiebreaker on me at 2-2, leading
Okay.
our division here. But Josh Allen also an off week
Yeah.
with also 46 points.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Quarterback privilege. Am I right?
yeah, Coach
Top
McDermott
quarterback
did
privilege.
say of his injured left shoulder,
Uh huh.
Josh is in pretty good shape as of this morning. So just want to
Yeah.
shout out to Guillermo right there.
Yeah,
Um,
that would have been scary, but yeah, worth mentioning, right?
yeah,
Non-throwing arm, but
Matt did lose Austin Eckler in this game.
mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook had enough points for the both of them with 26. Mike Evans continuing seems to have a decent connection with Tom Brady there, 18 points. Calvin Ridley, who had boom, 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 0 points this week.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy things. Is he droppable now? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Drop him in my league over here. But
25 points, 22
yeah,
points. I mean, to go from that to zero is pretty
yeah.
intense too, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, that was a little bit of voodoo from Nestor there. We were really hoping for maybe run a reverse with him. Packers sniff it out. Loss of 10. Fumble. And yeah, he didn't put up any other yards. So if we would have gotten that fumble, there would have at least been a tie for that game. Matt does have good news for him. Kareem Hunt to fill in for
yeah.
Austin Eckler. Yeah, that's
I mean, his bench looks okay too,
yeah, it's not looking good for the rest
for
of us
any of
over
us.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nestor continues to ride Alvin Kamara over here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Eagles defense hate them, and that they give Nestor a good game. 16 points. Brandon McManus. This was actually the kickers duel. 18
McManus,
for Brandon McManus versus 17 for Fat Randy.
Randy Bullock. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, that was if Nestor would have played his boy Gardner Minshew, he would have won this game.
Man.
A funny note for Nestor here. Nestor is exactly even. He is 2 wins, 2 losses,
Okay.
won a game by 5, lost a
Oh.
game by 5, won a
Oh.
game by 2, lost a game by 2.
That's interesting. That's funny.
Exactly in the middle. I think I'm like 1 point off or 2 points off from being same points, 4 points against. Matt put up 160 or whatever against me last week, but
Garner Minshew, he puts up, 6 touchdowns the first 2 weeks. And then third week, big disappointment. Then he comes back, 300 plus yards, whatever, two touchdowns. If it was you, would you play him over